So to get, why are you staring at me? Now even though I'm not, what the hell, I don't have my mic on. In this video,
we will look at the link between having more money and less stuff, and that is personal finance and minimalism, and why the two have become quite closely linked. Hi, I'm Fifi, a mom engineering consultant living in London, and I make videos about saving money, investing, and understanding the economy to make better financial decisions. I have to confess, I'm not a minimalist, and nor do I want to be. I like kitsch and I like character, but I have streamlined certain areas of my life to be as lean as possible. And my partner, for example, he tries to be a minimalist too, and it's taken him a while, but he's kind of almost perfected it now. So he has a smart, timeless wardrobe. We have both decluttered our physical and digital workspaces. We live a paper-free life. Importantly, have decluttered our personal finances. It makes sense and actually has a large cost not to do it. So as humans, we do like things, and as Yuval has pointed out in his amazing, I love this book, Sapiens, it's almost a nomadic and hunter-gatherer mentality, and it's in our history. So having a home and filling it with stuff makes us feel more secure. The next time your partner gives you a side eye because the Amazon guy is at the door, just say that it's genetics. Just kidding, guys, I don't know. I'll try that and let you know how it is. When you type in personal finance or minimalism in YouTube, you see the big advocates of this philosophy, the likes of Matt Devella, who's been wearing the same dark green t-shirt for like 3 years now. What the hell? Now, even though I'm not a minimalist, I am thoughtful about money and budgeting. Personally, I find that satisfying, and accumulating wealth is also part of that. So I did want to talk about this. Excessive spending on stuff can lead to debt, or debt not being paid back fast. And that debt makes us feel trapped and also heavy. So when we take a look around, we have countless pieces of junk, dead tech, unworn clothes, food thrown out, space in our homes that isn't lived in, and then we should probably think, crikey. When you talk about personal finances, I'm diverting money here instead of clearing this heavy feeling of debt. So for me, that's what financial minimalism is about. No matter how much money you make, minimalism will help us allocate our money in a way that helps align with our personal values. And that's because at its core, minimalism is actually evaluating what you need and what you really need, and re-evaluating it constantly and cutting out all that little bit of fat that doesn't really bring you joy and doesn't actually bring you value to your life either. I know some people that practice it through living on a mat in the middle of the room as some cruel sacrifice, because who needs a bed, right? Sneeze? Actually, it worked. So guys, I've been waiting for a sneeze to come because sneeze. No. Jokes aside, but probably not. Instead, consider it a practice of trade-offs and not sacrifices, and having in your life what truly brings you value. For example, I have a full understanding of my assets and liabilities and the debt that I have and that I choose to have as a lever to invest better. And the problem is we tend to overemphasize the importance of our spending habits, and while at the same time underemphasize the way that money flows through our accounts. And the spending habits is a function of willpower, and that is really important because it's a process. It requires structure and having a plan to stick to it. Right, guys? Am I right? So at the heart of it, when we think about a minimalist financial system, it has 3 distinct components. We talk about each of these individually in so many videos, so let's bring them together and see what they are. So the first one is having a budget for thoughtful spending, and the second one is tracking expenses to ensure we stick to that budget, and the third one is making money flow through our accounts, an automatic process, so it doesn't feel like a hindrance or a headache at the end of the month or the beginning. And it's pretty. Those things, when they combine together, bring that synergy, and in science we call it a system-based theory, and that is where it's cyclical and all flows together. Perfect. That just gets me so excited. So it starts with the budget, like I said, which outlines how much you can spend on items through the month. Personally, I use YNAB, amazing app by the way. It is super simple, but I'm a bit of a tech fiend and have a lot going on already, so using an app which takes out the repetition of reconciliation is a massive bonus for both my partner and I. I do just love YNAB also because it has a sync function. Our banks here in the UK implemented open banking a couple of years ago, and it works a dream. So it pulls in data and it matches it off according to your transactions and also your categories. The matching off is important. So an app app can make things too easy, and we do want it to be a budget tool and not just a tracking tool. But it's that subtle difference. For example, when you put fuel in your car, the moment you sit down, you write it down or digit press it into YNAB rather than waiting for it to get picked up throughout your transactions as they get loaded up. And it means you're more in tune with your budget as you spend. The circle of life when it comes to personal finance and budgeting is get paid, spend money to budget, and invest the rest and repeat. So how do you build a budget? Well, to be honest, you have to start by keeping it very simple. And I have a video on some approaches, which I will link at the end of this one. But rather than having too many categories, keep it simple to start. You may just have food, travel, and rent. And as you become accustomed to tracking your money, you may split food to eating out and eating in, allowing you then to drill out and improve areas of your life and reduce those that don't bring joy. I'm not trying to bring a Marie Kondo kind of vibe to this, but for some reason it kind of is. But to sum up, build a budget system and have a way to stick to it using pen and paper or an app like YNAB. Finally, try and automate the process. I always have this philosophy where I find if I'm doing something repeatedly, then there has to be a way to automate it. So automate the process. And in the UK, we get paid once a month. So on the first of each month, I sit down with my partner and we reconcile everything from the prior month. That takes about 30 minutes or so. And once that's done, we then fix up our budget, and then we know exactly how much money we have to divert to investing. And it has been a game changer. This one action itself has added more value to our net worth than getting paid more with a job switch. It's like getting a better job. Essentially, managing costs and cash flow does pay. Now, the truth of the matter is that no one can really tell you the magic formula for maximizing your happiness with money. Instead, you need to be willing to understand what you will forego now in order to have later. And in other words, what really makes you happy. Sorry, that was my phone, guys. Minimalism itself is not an out-of-the-box turnkey solution. What I have learned is while I'm a complicated lady, I have uncomplicated needs.
Not yet, but I was about to. Can I just finish the video?
So to get... Why are you staring at me? We have covered a lot there, so to get a bit more of a deeper dive into some of the personal finance chatter, check out my playlist over here for some financial minimalism. But for now, I'm out, guys.